Anonymous Call. Short story by John Jones. Everybody has a price. I learned that recently. A price in which anybody will do anything for money. The premise is simple. If I said I would pay you £100 to walk into a supermarket and steal one item, it being of no concern what it was you stole, would you do it? Of course you would. What if I gave you £200 or £400? The more money I give you, the more likely you are to do it, to break the law. If I gave you £1,000 to smash somebody's window, well, I know the answer to that. Being a poor student, scraping by and with increasing debts, I was given these incentives by a person I've never met. He rang me up and offered me money to perform tasks that have no real relevance to anybody. Thing is, though, he paid up. He knew my bank details, and paid the cash he said he'd give me when the tasks had been performed. How he knew I'd done them, I do not know. I assume that he'd been watching me. I suppose it was a lesson in greed. The more money a person has, the more they want, and their only pleasure gained from it is in its attainment. They never spend it. It's the same with me. I'm rich, but I cannot earn any more. The phone calls have stopped, and I cannot access my bank account. I came to understand the true power of money, and the stranglehold it has over society. Imagine suddenly waking up in a field, and you have absolutely no idea as to where you are. You discover you have no money whatsoever, or the means to attain it. What do you do? What about when you get pangs of hunger? Do you beg? Or do you steal? Do you break the law in order to eat? Would you, if you had to? Of course you would. Yet, by turn, it can cause vast amounts of happiness. I thought it would make me happy. It did, I suppose, in its attainment. I would receive a call on my mobile phone. It would always say, "Anonymous Call," and whoever it was making me rich. Burn down a derelict house for £6,000, he had asked. An empty house, just burn it down. Of course I did. And the next day, I checked my account and found I was considerably more wealthy. Find somebody who owns a cat, kill it, then break into their house and hang it from the light in the living room. For that, I was to receive £250,000. I'll repeat that. £250,000. I found the task rather easy. The next assignment I didn't think twice about. Such was my desire for money that I was entranced by its lure, and was hooked like a shark scenting blood in the water. "Sever your bonds," said the voice. "Sever everything you know. Leave home, leave your friends. Don't even say goodbye. Move down south to this address." He gave an address, and it's from there where I speak now. On the journey to a London suburb, he rang again, and told me that before I was to reach the address, I was to bring the head of a tramp. For that, he would give me £1,000,000. Would you kill a tramp for £1,000,000? I would, and did. It took a while. I bought an axe and searched the back streets. A tired old man was half asleep in a back doorway to a restaurant, presumably hoping for scraps. I thought this doesn't happen very often, does it? Me, a rich student, standing before one of the poorest members of society. I axed him without hesitation, taking care not to harm the head, which took 4 strikes to come free. I put it in a new bag I had bought and headed for the house, which, to my disappointment, wasn't a lavish affair, but a derelict abode along a side street with a "for sale" sign outside, attached to which was a "sold" notice. Well, it didn't matter. It wasn't my place, and I could buy whatever house I liked. The door was open, and I stepped into a musty abode. Everything cleared out long ago. No carpet, no light bulb, and dull wallpaper that somebody had tried to rip away but failed. Well-worn stairs led up to the left with a banister that looked as if it would collapse with one more touch. It was then that the phone beeped, and I saw that it was a text message. "Go up into the attic," it said. So up the creaking stairs I went, and saw that there was a step-ladder beneath the loft entrance. The light was also on up there. I clambered up and found that the money I was to earn this time would not be going in the bank, as it was here, scattered around. The place was literally carpeted in money, and I could roll in it. As I did that, another text message disappointingly informed me that the money was not mine, yet. It could be if I did one more thing. There was £1 million, exactly in £10 notes. The man rang me. I think he couldn't be bothered to text again. He told me to close the hatch. In doing that, I knew I would be locking myself in, as there was a mortise lock on the entrance that could only be unlocked from outside. I had to shut myself in what was effectively a prison cell. I had to trust the stranger, have confidence in him to come and unlock it. "What I want you to do," said the voice, "is read one more text message I will send after I finish speaking to you. Once you've read it, understood it, I want you to smash the phone. Make it useless. I'm sure you can afford a new one. Perform what it says, and if you do that, the money's yours. Goodbye, my friend. I won't contact you again." That was it. He clicked off, and a few seconds later, the text message came through. "Escape." It said, "Nothing else." All right, I thought. All I've got to do is get out of here. Easy, probably. I smashed the phone against a wooden beam, made it useless. So I tried to escape, but couldn't. The floor was made of polished hardboard. I couldn't penetrate outside onto the roof, and after a while, sat down in the money to think about how I was going to do this. I saw the bag, and emptied out the severed head. Wonder what that's for, I asked myself, not really thinking about it. I thought perhaps that if I couldn't escape, the stranger would come and rescue me, but I was wrong. Another scout of the attic revealed that I really was trapped. There was absolutely no escape. So, exasperated, I sat down again in front of the head. And then I realized what it was for. It was to give me time. It was my sustenance until I figured out how to get out of here, to keep me going if it took a while. I suppose it catered for all my nutritional requirements, being both solid and liquid. As I lie here, staring up at an abandoned cobweb, I understand now what the stranger had taught me. So full of greed was I that all I saw was the money, and now it's useless. I can't eat it. In here, now, with me, it has no meaning, and can't help stave off the pangs of hunger that I knew would come. After I'd eaten the head, every bit of it, the hunger stayed away for around a full day, and there was nothing else for it but to start on myself. It hurt, but I managed most of my left forearm. Thing is, though, although I'm staving off hunger, I can't really think straight with regards to escaping, as I think I'm going mad. I ate the broken mobile phone, and my watch, and very reluctantly, some £10 notes. But still the hunger comes, and I know I'm not getting out of here. See, the thing is, as the stranger has access to my account, he can easily take out of it. So effectively, that money is now his, and when I die here, he can come and take all this money away, and I realize that he is no better than I. Money can warp a sane person's mind. He gets most of his money back, as being greedy meant I didn't spend much of it. And now as I lay here bleeding, waiting for the inevitable, My sense of greed does not let up its grip on me, as I find myself jealous of the stranger, because he is, after all, rich.